Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we'll be learning how to use the context API to manage state in our React applications. I remember when I was learning React, the context API was one of the one of the concepts that sounded really intimidating, and it felt intimidating at first. I'm not gonna lie, but then when I finally learned it, it was actually really easy, and I was able to use it confidently in most of my other React applications. So today I will be taking you guys through tutorial where we'll be learning about state management using context API, the how to create a context using the create context API hook, and how to access those states using the use context hook in our applications. So let's get into it. All right, so today I created this application. This is very bare to do list application, which basically just does one thing, which is to add list to the add tasks to the list basically. So this is basically all it does. Voila, and nothing else actually. But today this is actually a perfect project to teach us how we can use the use context or the context API hook to help us to learn how to manage states in application. So let's go into our code. All right, here is my app.js. As you can see, I have some Chakra UI components um, imported and used. Chakra UI is really good when it comes to starting your app, your project. It's really easy. I wanted to just make use something that will help me to make a project in less than 5 minutes. And I came and I used this, and it was really helpful. The documentation is everything you need to learn how to use Chakra UI. Really easy to learn. All right, so into the code. So basically, first off, I have the search input, and I have the task container. So basically, this task container is getting its values from the task list array, which is this, and I'm appending values to this task list as an array using this function. So basically, how am I getting the value from this search input? And that is, I used a concept known as lifting state up. So how do you lift state up? You basically create a function in the parent component here in the app component, and then you pass it in as prop. This is what I did here. And then when we get it into the search input, you get that prop, and then so here I made an on-click event that passes in the user input when we're done typing to as an argument to this function, which then gives app.js access to that particular value. But then what if we have different directories, we have different components that require that particular input. If you want to keep on passing in props, it's probably going to get really confusing and wonky. So that's where use context the context API hook comes in. So when I'm making my context, when I'm starting my project with the context API, I create a folder called context or helpers, anything you want it to be, and I create a context file. So here in my context file, I just have to import the use context, the create context hook, and I instantiate my context objects. Let me call it to do context, and then I say create. I instantiate it with probably an empty array, and this is all I need actually. And I go back to my app.js, which is the component that the parent component of all my other components. So I pass it in. Let me import it. First of all, you have to import it. So you import the to do context from context/context, which is this file, and then we come in here. We wrap everything inside here. to do context dot, then we make it a provider. So I'm just have to kind of wrap it. I'm gonna copy this and paste it over here. There we go. All right, so what else do we do? So we've made the context object. We've imported it in our app.js. Now how do we pass in all the state we want it to pass? So basically what this provider does is that it says, okay, you've created my context. Now I want to provide the values or the state that you want me to provide to your children. I'm going to do that here. So what are they? I pass in the value, which is going to be this task list. We want to pass in the task list. I want to pass in the task list and the set task list. There we go. So now all the components inside here, from here to here, have access to both the task list and the set task list. All right, so we're not going to need this function anymore, so I'm going to comment that out, and I'm also going to remove this. We don't need to list it anymore, so I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to go into the search input file. Now, how do I access that state which was passed down from the provider into each of those components? To do that, we have to import the to-do context first, and also import the use context hook. So in our application, we then something like, so what exactly do we need in this file? We just need to append, this is where we append the user input to the task list. So to do that, we're going to have to get the set task list and put that in an object. Set task list is equals to use context, get it from the to do context. There we go. Alright, so basically we come in here and then we say set task list. Now to append a value to an already existing array, we do something like this. Set task list. We create like a parameter task list array. Name it anything you want. Then make a function, array function. Then you come here and make an array. Put an array there. We return an array. Then we spread in the task list array. So this basically represents the current values in that array, and then we add the user input in there like such. And if I save this and come in here, also save, and then let us test this out. And then we type in go for a walk, and voila, it still works. So that's basically how the use context hook works. So let me just remove this. So a quick recap. What we did here was that first off, I also do not need this anymore. Oh, I do. Okay. So first off, what we do is that we create a context file. We import the create context hook from React, and then we instantiate it as an empty array. Then in our parent component, we import it, and we make it as a provider and pass in all the values that we would like to share with our remaining components, such as the children of this part. We make them the children of this provider. Then in the component that we would like to access the value, we import it to do context, and then we we get that value from this. We're getting the setters list from what's returned from this use context here, the to do context, and we use it anyhow we want to use it. So yeah, guys, that's basically how you use the context API to in your React applications. If you have any questions, you can leave them down in the description below, and then I will be really glad to answer them. All right, see you guys in the next video. Bye.